start off by thanking you for being a part of this.
You're welcome, Sam.
Okay, so what influenced you to join the military?
What influenced me to join the military was definitely my family. Growing up, my father was in the Marine Corps, my uncle was in the Marine Corps, my grandfather was in the Army, so it was something I always wanted to do. And growing up, I just remember being a little kid and doing stuff, and my father saying, "Oh, you're my Marine, or, you can get this done." So it was kind of almost a mentality that I felt that I had, and something that I was kind of wanted to do.
Can you talk me through some of the training you went through up until your first one?
So start off with 13 weeks of boot camp. So we're at Paris Island. They teach everything from like basic skills to how to shave, to how to iron, to how to shoot a rifle, clean weapons, Marine Corps history. It's really every single thing you think you know how to do, they reteach you how to do, from vocabulary to everything. Then you go to combat training school, which is a couple weeks. And then I went to combat engineer school, where I learned everything from construction to, high explosive demolitions to bridge building. So any type of thing that, that could be done, in a kind of an infantry setting, with engineers was what we did. So.
Do you remember arriving to Iraq and what the scene first looked like when you got there?
Yes. Two things. So we arrived. We took this huge plane over from Spain to Kuwait, and in the stomach of the plane, we had to put on our chemical warfare suits. So we get this we're about to land in Kuwait, and we get news that we had to put our chemical warfare suits. We had to have our gas masks ready. So we land in Kuwait. We're in full charcoal chemical warfare suits. They're heavy. It's hot. It's nighttime. We have our gas masks on. They take us on a bus kind of to the base. As soon as we step off the bus to the base, we get, warnings going up that there's scuds going up, so we had to run into a bunker right away. So the second I get there, that sets the tone. And then, sadly, before we left to go to Iraq, we had a Marine commit suicide in our squad bay before we even left Kuwait. And then the next day, we were rolling into Iraq. So we were ready to roll. It was a tough time for us as a unit, but it was something that kind of banded us together, and we knew that this was real for us.
So what was a typical day like on the battlefield?
So there's no real typical days. For us, every day is different. My first tour, I worked with EOD, which is unexploded ordnance, and what we did basically was, as we rolled through during the invasion, we would blow up all types of explosives that were left behind, all types of mortars, any type of ammunition we took care of, kind of swept through the country. There were so many of us there, it's like we were rolling through, really fast. My second tour was a lot different. I was up near Syria in a forward operation base. It was an old train yard. That's where we kind of lived for 7.5 months. We were out there, had no amenities, nothing. The first tour we didn't have anything either, but this was, we were really isolated. We were up in the Al-Anbar province, which is kind of where the whole ISIS thing is happening now. So it's definitely an intense area for us. And being right near Syria, we would have insurgents come over from Syria all the time. But you could go a month without any contact, and then one day it's like hell erupts.
Did there ever come a time where you wanted to go home?
No, and I think that could point back to the brotherhood thing. You're there with each other. You're fighting the fight together. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else but with them in that, because you're there for them, they're there for you.
So, what do you love most about serving for our country?
Definitely the satisfaction of knowing that you have given yourself for something bigger than you. I think is a huge point for me. I think that something that's lost today on a lot of people. I don't think people could fathom giving up their life or their amenities or their comfort for somebody else or for something else.
Were you awarded any medals or citations?
Yeah, so I was awarded combat action ribbon for just kind of combat over overseas. And then I was awarded an ARCOM, which is an Army Commendation Medal, which was given to me for all my service in my second tour in Iraq, in Al-Anbar province. Went on probably the most missions that anybody in my whole company. I was out there every day.
So what was it like coming home after an assignment?
Coming home was different for me on both tours. My first tour, my mother was sick with cancer, and I knew this while I was overseas. I could talk to her every once in a while from the satellite phone, maybe once a month if I could. Yeah. And then I came home and actually surprised her. She didn't know I was coming home, so I got picked up at the airport. And I remember walking in, and she had no clue. She was sitting there and she started crying. I took care of her for her next 3 months of her life. I was her primary caretaker. I was there when she passed. That meant a lot to me to be able to be there at those times because I was gone for so much of it. I couldn't do anything. I was doing my job. So that was definitely, tough for me a lot. But also the fact that I was able to be there meant a lot to me too.
Okay. Did your experience in the military have any influence on your decision to become a trainer?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that the mental discipline, is a huge thing for me. For me in training, it's not about what you look like. It's not about if you have a six-pack. That stuff that means nothing to me. It means if you're mentally strong, if you're physically strong, and being able to push yourself past your limits. That's something I've always wanted to do in my life, and I think I've done throughout my life. And people that can do that can do anything. If you start believing you can do anything, you can do anything. Even if you come up short, it's okay because you still gave everything you got. I think that part of training is what I love the most about it. It's impacting people's lives in a positive way, and it's letting them realize that they can do stuff. I think so many times people are afraid to take risks because they're afraid of the outcome. Well, don't be afraid of the outcome. Put your time and put your effort in, and whatever the outcome is, it is. But at least if you want 100%, you can't frown upon yourself. You can't look down upon yourself because you gave everything you have. And that's what I think the training aspect. For me, that's the most, you can get out of it. Because it should shape your whole life. It's not just about in here for an hour. It's about what you're doing after you get out of here. What type of person you're becoming. And that, for me, being able to impact young men and women's lives is enormous. I take that very seriously.
What was the most valuable lesson you took away from your experience?
I'd say definitely, never give up. To keep pushing forward. I think that with everything in life, just being able to persevere and overcome obstacles. That's what life's about. It's just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. It's who can navigate them the best. It's who can see them coming before they happen. It's who's got a plan. Being a decision maker, being decisive. Too many times, I see people, they're afraid to make decisions in life. I'm not afraid of any decision. If I make it, if I think it through, I'm doing it. I quit a job to start a business during the financial crisis. People told me I was crazy, but I didn't care. I knew I could do it. And it's just, it's that type of stuff that the Marine Corps teaches you. It's character. It's how to approach problems. It's how to be decisive. It's how to be a leader. There's not enough leadership going on anywhere. Everybody will follow anything. It's just, I think that gets lost on a lot of people, and hopefully if I can change a couple people, into thinking a different way, then, maybe they can change a couple people. And, that's what it's about, impacting lives. So, the Marine Corps impacted my life in such a positive way. If I can give some of that back to other people, then I've done my job.
So after your service ended, how does the experience still affect you today?
In big and little ways, the satisfaction of knowing that, you can, wear a Marine Corps shirt and feel proud of your service and proud of what you did over there, and, you're part of a brotherhood. It's a tough life, being in the military. It's tough to go overseas, and it's tough coming home. It's not an easy thing. But, once again, too, that's why I love the community of the Marines, of the military, because there aren't so many people out there that will reach out and help you out. That's something I think that, no matter how much it affects me, I know I always feel good because I have that type of support system around me. That's it. Over, out. Much better. Eyes up, straighten your feet out. Fold out, all the way down, over 10. See. Good. 1, 2, 2, 1.